Good day and welcome to the short presentation on approaches to safety. My name is Dr. Bob Barron. I am the President and Chief Consultant of the Aviation Consulting Group. We are a worldwide leader in safety management solutions. You can see our website up there on the slide at tacgworldwide.com. Take a look and see what we have to offer. I personally have 33 plus years of experience as a pilot, an educator, and an aviation safety advocate. My full bio is also available at the website link above. There are three types of safety. There's reactive safety, proactive safety, and then predictive safety. And reactive is basically looking at things that have happened in the past. Proactive is things that are currently happening or in the present. And then we have predictive, to look into the future to see potential problems that may arise due to just normal everyday operations. And we'll talk a bit more about each of these. Reactive safety is unfortunate in that an incident and an accident or an accident has already happened, but they typically provide us with some of the most detailed information, and that's through investigation into the root cause or root causes. It's much easier to quantify the event, and as a result, it makes it easier to present the case to management for action. Now, although this approach can provide excellent information, it doesn't do much to prevent the incident or accident from happening in the first place. Unfortunately, many companies still rely on reactive safety as the dominant method. And the mentality is, if it ain't broke, why fix it? Here's a reactive safety example. There was a Challenger 600 accident in Aspen, Colorado back in 2014, and the crew failed to maintain airplane control during the approach to landing. The approach was unstable. They decided to land with a tailwind component that was above the aircraft's operating limitations, and they failed to conduct a go-around when the approach became unstabilized. Now, after the investigation, reactively, there were a lot of pieces of information that were uncovered that contributed to this accident, and one of the main contributing factors was the fact that the pilot had very little time in this particular model of aircraft. The captain had a lot of hours total time, but didn't have many hours in the aircraft. Not that that probably made that much of a difference in the outcome of this, but still it was a contributing factor. Well, guess what? After the accident happened, there was a knee-jerk reaction, and management said, hey, we need to make some changes. And those changes were, of course, reactive. Now we go to proactive safety. What's going on right here, right now? We need a strong safety culture for this, especially if the voluntary non-punitive reporting system is going to be effective. Hazard identification and risk analysis is a big part of proactive safety. You may have heard of the ALARP principle, to reduce risks to as low as reasonably practicable. Many sources of safety data can be used for proactive safety, including SMS gap analyses, safety audits, surveys, safety performance indicators or SPIs, interviews, observations, and of course, the reporting system. Here's an example of proactive safety. There's a crack in the concrete on the ramp or in the aircraft operations area out on the airport. A lot of people might ignore it, but with a good safety culture, there is going to be more likelihood that somebody says, hey, I identified a hazard and I'm going to report that because we have a non-punitive confidential reporting system here with our great safety culture at our company as part of the safety management system. And of course, with the safety management system, then the safety department will look at this type of a hazard and its associated risks, and then do something to mitigate those risks or possibly even eliminate those risks if possible. Then we have predictive safety, and that's the third one of our 3 approaches to safety. Predictive, identify potential future problems. It uses normal operational data that we already have and modern data processing tools. And these data allow us to see if we're headed for trouble. We can identify hazards and address the probability and or severity of risks associated with those hazards. We must have full management support for this to work. It can be a challenge to get management buy-in. Now, why is that? Well, you're trying to sell management on an incident or an accident that may never happen. That's why you must use an evidence-based approach. So, data, data, data. Here's a couple of examples of some of the data tools we might use for predictive safety. Up here, we have LOSA, the Line Operations Safety Audit. That is a proactive and, of course, predictive sort of a program where we can identify threats, errors, and undesired states, and then we can analyze the data to see if we're headed for potential trouble with how threats and errors are being dealt with by the crews. And then, of course, we have flight data monitoring, or FDM, flight data analysis, which provides us, once again, with the type of data that is predictive. We can look into trends and future possibilities of things happening that may not have happened yet, but this is a way of sort of looking at it and saying, okay, this is a potential problem. So, summary and takeaways, the 3 approaches to safety I spoke about are reactive, proactive, and predictive. Many companies still depend on a strictly reactive approach, but preventing an accident from happening can be much cheaper than paying to clean up the mess afterwards. Proactive and predictive approaches require a healthy safety culture, a robust SMS, and of course, management buy-in. Thank you very much for your time. I hope this shed a little more light on the 3 approaches to safety. Let me know if TACG can assist with your SMS. You can contact me at bbarron@tacgworldwide.com. That's my email address right there. And we'd be more than happy to discuss safety management systems with you and how we might be able to help. Thanks again for your time. Have a good day and be safe and be well.